Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head and I'm Olis Gerjuk. Today we're talking about books, reading and publishing in Ukraine and around the world. The whole industry has drastically changed in digital age as consumers use new free tools to read on, write about and create with. Publishers had to rethink their approaches. But what is it that audiences really want? What do they like to do and how can they shape a publishing strategy? To talk more about this, we welcome to the studio today Suzanne Kavanagh, a strategic market specialist at Book Machine Community. Hello and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, could you explain us please what is Book Machine Community about?
Well, the Book Machine Community was founded in 2010 by Laura and Gavin Summers, both of whom work in publishing. And they originally wanted to bring people together who work in the industry in a social networking way to chat and share about what they're doing and what their interests are. It has since developed into a formal membership community, and they provide a lot of events for people to come together to learn about new developments and also to keep that very important social networking friendly environment. Mm-hmm. And recently they also launched a marketing agency called Book Machine Works, and they work on copyright, content creation, marketing and PR campaigns for publishers as well.
Mm-hmm. So what are these new developments that they're learning about, that they're sharing their experience about?
It varies. Most of it is driven by new writing and what consumers and the readers want. Also facilitate
new trends,
and also a lot of the technology and how the way that you produce, edit, design, market or sell a book has changed with new technology.
Mm-hmm. Did the approach change?
There are some core original approaches. The core skills of being able to work with and edit content and improve the quality and make sure that it flows. And good core design skills or production skills. However, there are a range of more flexible technical skills you need. Project management, working and collaborating with people, as well as specific digital technical competencies and skills. So it's a bit of both. Traditional is important, new technical skills are also very important.
Mm-hmm. But then how have reading habits changed throughout this time since the Book Machine community was found?
Well, it's really interesting to see the EU, the 28 countries in the EU, have seen a marked increase in the availability of internet and regular use of the internet. I think in 2007 it was 51%, but it's risen to 79% in 2016. So it's a huge amount. There are some variations. Different countries, I think Romania and Bulgaria are much lower, but then Luxembourg and the UK are much higher. So it varies. But alongside that, mobile technology is a massive factor, and the use of mobile and the ownership of smartphones has transformed how people read content, listen to content, watch content when they're travelling around.
Yes. And probably now they want to deliver this content to somebody, so they want to share it, right?
That's absolutely right. So you have social tools, so social media, and it's so easy for people to now, and there's a young generation, millennials and Generation Z who were born between the early 80s and the early 2000s. They now are very happy using social media tools, online tools to shoot their own videos, talk about the things they like, take photographs of the things they do.
How does this reflect on book publishing?
So I think there are lots of ways it affects book publishing. There are now easy tools that anyone can use to make a video. YouTube, you can post it online. So people are sort of writing their own content and acting out. People write blogs, they do the creative writing, they post it online. But also importantly, they come together in communities, they promote and sell and talk about the books they love, the authors they love. But they also then can get involved in initiatives like crowdfunding. If they really hear about a project and want to make it into print, they can contribute a small amount, maybe €10, or €5 and to help make that project happen.
Are we talking right now about Consumer 3.0?
Well, I would say Consumer 3.0, there were two stages before. Consumer 1.0 was someone who went into a shop, looked at the products, it was a physical environment, and then they choose what to buy, pay, go. That's it. Consumer 2.0 would be someone who would, through mail order online or in a catalogue, they'd have more information, more range.
Yeah.
They can do it when they want to do it. So at midnight, fine. And they would order, it would be delivered to them. They might also look at recommendations online. Consumer 3.0 is the next step. And that's where people can generate content. They can help produce it. They can make their own content or work in collaboration. They can help sell it. They can help fund it. They can promote it. So they're fully integrated into the publishing cycle.
So basically, this is the modern generation.
Yes.
Okay, but how does this approach influence, well, different business models?
Well, I think what's happened is, in the background, across lots of media, different models have emerged. So you've got subscription for watching videos streaming live, or music, pay per tune on Spotify or Apple Music. You've also got crowdfunding that I mentioned, where people can come together and support a project with little micropayments. And it's all very easy. I mean, in the UK, I use PayPal a lot. Or you can use your mobile carrier and text to donate. There's lots of ways of making very small payments. And so all in all, that means that content publishers and content creators have a lot more different ways to get the money in to pay for the costs of that creation.
But what is your forecast? What will happen to reading and publishing in the future?
Well, I think in reading and publishing in the future, I think for the reader, the consumer, it's really exciting. They're going to be able to get a lot more content in different ways. So if you want to read a book or read an ebook, great. If you want to have some music or some video or film that goes with it, fantastic. If you want to create your own content around it, great, you can do that. So really exciting and interesting. I think it's interesting, lots of potential for authors. I also think it's a bit more challenging maybe for publishers. So I think there'll be some consolidation. You'll have larger publishers basically having to retrench and buy in smaller publishers who can't survive because they can't adapt. I do think you'll also get lots of startups, new businesses that see the opportunity and focus on that and are very smart and agile. I do think there's still a place for traditional publishing. That's not going to go away.
Yeah,
and
of
I
course.
think the challenge...
There are some fan of paper books. Also.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
But I think that the key will be making sure you have your customer at the heart of your business, your reader, and make sure you have great authors and really quality content, but also be very agile, adapt, and try these new technologies. And make sure that you're building a community, listening to your community.
Of course.
And then your brand will grow. So you will be known within that community and you can become very strong.
How much do the Ukrainian publishers comply with these new trends and all this digitalization of publishing and reading material?
Well, I'm not an expert on Ukrainian publishing, I have to say. What I understand is that there's some very interesting work going on and some interesting experiments. That also there are some a small number of very large publishers in Ukraine who will probably be investing in this kind of technology. But I will be very interested to hear what they're doing at Book Arsenal.
But what are the leading countries in the world that could rule as example for us, for Ukrainians?
Well, I'm biased, I'm from the UK. There is some very interesting work going on with small startups. So for all those smaller Ukrainian publishers, I've got some examples in the talk I'm giving about small English startups who have just gone, right, let's try this. They don't have big budgets, they don't have huge hundreds of people working for them, and they're still finding really professional, fantastic ways to deliver content that the readers love.
Well, every year in Ukraine we also have this book festivals held in Kiev and also in other cities around the country. So let's see how the industry will be developing. But thank you very much for your interesting comments about an interesting experience.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was Suzanne Kavanagh. She is a strategic market specialist at Book Machine Community. Thank you for watching UATV and stay tuned for more.